The year 2026 arrived with a sense of magic across North America. From Canada's snowy peaks to Mexico's sunlit beaches, excitement was everywhere. For the first time, three nations, Canada, Mexico, and the United States, would host the FIFA World Cup together. 48 teams, the largest tournament ever, were coming to North America. This was more than a sporting event. It was a promise of unity. Cities from Vancouver to Miami prepared for years, building stadiums and training volunteers. The goal to welcome the world and celebrate friendship between neighbors. Streets buzzed with anticipation, children wore jerseys, city squares filled with fans, and the air was alive with languages and laughter. The World Cup was a festival of humanity, uniting people through their love of football. For North America, this was a dream realized. Soccer had long played second fiddle to other sports, but now it was center stage. The 2026 World Cup was a chance to inspire a new generation. The world was watching, and the hosts were ready. The stage was set for a tournament that would change everything. The story of the united bid was about to be written. Three nations, one goal: to deliver the greatest sporting event ever. The anticipation was electric. The beautiful game was about to begin. North America stood united, ready to welcome the world. The dawn of a new era had arrived. The United States entered the tournament under immense pressure. As co-hosts with a rising soccer culture, expectations soared. Their young, talented squad was expected to win, not just participate. Anything less than a deep run would be seen as failure. Canada's story was different. A nation of hope, led by Alphonso Davies and a golden generation. No longer content to just qualify, they aimed to prove they belonged among the world's best. Their dream: win their first World Cup match and go further than ever before. Canadian fans were ready to cheer, no matter the odds. Mexico, meanwhile, carried the weight of history and heartbreak. For decades they'd fallen in the round of 16, the infamous curse. Now, with home advantage and passionate fans, breaking the curse became a national obsession. The dream reached the quinto partido, the elusive fifth game. Three nations, three dreams, each unique, each powerful. The US bore the burden of expectation. Canada, the hopeful underdog, sought to shock the world. Mexico, the passionate giant, fought for redemption. The world watched, eager to see which dream would come true. The stage was set for a tournament of hope. Crash, or die. And then, in the standard. See. The tournament opened on a warm evening in Mexico City's legendary Estadio Azteca. The stadium pulsed with energy, over 80,000 fans, a spectacle of color and music. The ceremony blended Mexican, Canadian, and American traditions, celebrating North America's diversity. Giant screens showed landscapes from all three nations, sending a message: different but united. Leaders stood together, speaking of peace and the power of sport. Flags of all 48 nations filled the stadium, a symbol of global community. Three children, one from each host, placed a single football at center field, representing the future. The crowd erupted, understanding the moment's significance. The ceremony was more than entertainment. It was a message of hope and unity. As the opening match approached, anticipation soared. Mexico's anthem echoed, passion filling the air. The World Cup had begun, not just a competition, but a celebration of togetherness. The games were ready to unfold. The group stage began with surprises for all three hosts. The US, favored to dominate, stumbled, drawing their first two matches and barely advancing. Pressure weighed heavy, and fans grew anxious. Canada, the underdog, played with fearless joy. Against a top European team, they scored their first ever Men's World Cup goal and won 2-1. Their momentum carried them to another victory, topping their group. Mexico, driven by the dream to break their curse, started strong. A dominant win at home and a dramatic comeback against a tough African side electrified the nation. Their belief grew with every match. The group stage flipped expectations. The US struggled but survived. Canada became a tournament sensation. Mexico played with passion and resilience, winning their group. The early drama set the tone for a World Cup full of surprises. Three nations, three journeys, each rewriting their own story. The knockout rounds promised even more drama. North America was making its mark. The world watched, captivated. The real test was about to begin. Canada entered the knockouts with newfound confidence. Their round of 16 match against a South American powerhouse was tense and goalless through 90 minutes. In extra time, a young Canadian forward scored a dramatic winner. Canada reached the quarterfinals for the first time ever. Their next opponent, a European giant. In Vancouver, the home crowd roared as Canada struck first. The match ended in a penalty shootout. Canada's goalkeeper became a national hero, saving 2 shots. Canada advanced to the semifinals, sparking celebrations across the country. Streets filled with fans. For one summer, football was king in Canada. The team's unity and courage inspired a nation. They weren't a team of superstars, but a super team. Their journey captured the world's imagination. Canada had risen from underdog to contender. The rise of the North was one of the World Cup's greatest stories. Hockey took a back seat. Canada was now a football nation. The players became heroes, inspiring a new generation. Their run proved anything was possible. The world watched in awe. Canada's dream lived on. Mexico faced their old nemesis, the round of 16. In Guadalajara, the stadium was a sea of green, white, and red. Mexico played with fire, finally breaking through with a brilliant goal. The curse was broken. Mexico reached the quinto partido at last. The nation erupted in joy and relief. Their quarterfinal opponent, the reigning world champions. At Estadio Azteca, Mexico played with newfound freedom and passion. The match was a classic, tied 2-2 after 90 minutes. In extra time, a Mexican midfielder unleashed a stunning long-range goal. The stadium shook as Mexico held on for a legendary 3-2 victory. They advanced to the semifinals, defeating the champions. Celebrations swept the country for days. This was more than a win. It was national redemption. Mexico had conquered its demons. The team became symbols of hope and pride. The quinto partido was no longer a curse, but a triumph. Mexico's march inspired millions. Their story became legend. El Tri had finally arrived. While Canada and Mexico soared, the U.S. journey ended in heartbreak. In the round of 16, they faced a skilled African side and fell behind early. Disjointed play and missed chances sealed their fate. A late counterattack ended their hopes, eliminated on home soil. The loss sparked tough questions. Why did a team of stars fail to unite? The answer was clear. Talent alone isn't enough. The U.S. learned the hard way that unity and heart matter most. The defeat forced a national reckoning and a new approach to the game. It was a humbling lesson, but a necessary one. The journey wasn't over. It was a new beginning. The pain of 2026 would shape a stronger future. Sometimes failure is the first step to greatness. The semifinals were historic. 2 North American teams among the final 4. Canada and Mexico stood at the summit, proving the continent's rise. The excitement was unmatched. Pride swept both nations. Canada faced a South American powerhouse, fighting bravely and even taking the lead. A late goal ended their dream, but their run was unforgettable. Mexico battled a European giant, playing with skill and heart. A single goal decided the match. Mexico fell, but not in spirit. Both teams returned home as heroes. They hadn't won the trophy, but they'd won the world's respect. Their journeys inspired millions and changed perceptions forever. North America was no longer just a host, it was a football force. The continent's football revolution was undeniable. Tears turned to pride. The Dreamers had become legends. The world would never see North American football the same way again. The summit had been reached. The 2020 6 World Cup didn't end with a North American champion, but it sparked a revolution. In Canada, football exploded, youth leagues boomed, and kids dreamed of World Cup glory. Mexico's curse was gone, replaced by belief and pride. The nation's relationship with El Tri transformed forever. The U.S. learned humility, rebuilding with a focus on unity and teamwork. Soccer's popularity soared, cementing its place in American culture. The tournament's true legacy was unity, hope, and inspiration. 3 nations worked together, showing the world what's possible. Canada's underdog story and Mexico's redemption became legend. The U.S. found new purpose. Millions of new fans fell in love with the game. The 2026 World Cup changed North American football forever. Its legacy, a continent united by the beautiful game.